Hello everybody, my name is Nemo and welcome back to another Magic video. So yesterday the new DLC packs, the new deck pack came out, deck pack number 2. We've got 2 new decks up to Mischief and Enchanter's Arsenal. I wasn't able to record yesterday because the 5th of December is a national holiday in the Netherlands, so Sinterklaas. So yeah. I was at my parents' house yesterday, so I wasn't able to record. But today we're back and we are playing these decks. So I'm gonna first take a look at the Up to Mischief deck. I built these decks, or at least my first build, basically. I haven't played with them at all, so I don't know what to expect. But this is basically, the deck, the way I built it right now. And this is what's in there. So let's take a quick look at what is in the deck, basically. I'm gonna ignore these for now, although I will say maybe it's right to play the 1/1 flyers for 1, and these are 2/1 flyers for 1, and when they enter the battlefield, sacrifice it unless you return another creature you control to its owner's hand. I think it's probably not worth running these unless you're also running these, because otherwise you have to pick up something that's potentially bigger than this guy, and it doesn't really make sense to play him. So we've got the Una's Gatewarden, a 1-cost 2/1 with Defender and Flying, and it is Wither. So don't be confused, it is a hybrid mana cost card, but there's only blue in this deck, so everything is blue basically. Can I? No, I can't even add swamps, even if I wanted to, so there's some hybrid blue-black cards in this deck, but you pay for all of them with blue mana. Now, the interesting part is, of course, they're immune to Doomblade, so hey. Now we've got a mono blue deck that has some creatures that are immune to Doomblade, so that's great for people playing Doomblade, isn't it? I guess it makes them a little bit more valuable. Either way, the Doomblade shall probably go to good use on other creatures, regardless. But so Una's Gatewarden, 1-cost 2/1 Defender Flying, and it is Wither. So what Wither does is it basically puts minus, if it comes into contact, if it battles another creature in combat, then it puts -1/-1 counters on the creature rather than actually dealing it damage. So the -1/-1 counters stay on that creature for basically as long as that creature is in play. So it's a little bit better than just dealing 2 damage. It actually withers the creature, so that it's weaker for the rest of the game, or unless they unsummon it and play it again or whatever. It works quite nicely against Undying, obviously. So that's how Wither works. And another thing is, if you attack a player with this guy and you deal combat damage to a player, then they get poison counters on them. If someone has 10 poison counters on him, regardless of how much life he has, he loses the game. So Wither, is a good way of dealing with life gain decks or something like that, and that's kind of interesting. But this guy has Defender, and since this is the only Wither guy in the deck, you'll never see those poison counters happen, because I don't think there's any way to have this guy actually deal damage to a player. Maybe there is, I don't know, but I think that's why this is the only Wither guy in the game, is because he has Defender, and so they don't have to program the poison counters in. That's my guess. But either way, we've got unsummons here. We've got Diminish. Maybe useful, may not be. I guess it's sort of removal, so there you go. Sometimes you need to deal with something big, right? Spell Stutter Sprite. I wasn't actually stuttering on it. I just, that was just for fun. But anyways, 2-cost 1/1 Flash Flying guy. And when it enters the battlefield, counter target spell with converted mana cost X or less, where X is the number of fairies you control. So given that you need a lot of fairies on board to make full use of this, maybe it is right, again, to play the Zephyr Sprites, this be a little bit more aggressive than I'm being. But anyways, we've got Briarberry Cohort, a 1/1 flyer that is a 2/2 if I control another blue creature. And Familiar's Ruse, a 2-cost counter spell that I have to pick up a creature to be able to play. So again, if you have a 1-drop to play, then you can actually start playing this turn 2. I don't, aside from Una's Gatewarden, I'm not running any other 1-drops right now. So just because these seem a little weak, but I don't know, maybe it's right to play them. Who knows? And here we have another hybrid mana cost guy. It's just a 3/2 flyer for free. And as you'll note, all of the creatures in this deck are flyers, and they're also all fairies. So it's a fairy deck. We've got Scion of Una, free cost 1/1. It's my commander basically. It has flash and flying. So it makes for a nice combat trick in that it gives all my other fairies +1/+1, and all my other fairies have Shroud as well. Obviously Shroud is worse than hexproof, and there are situations where that's a little unfortunate, but oh well. You gotta run your lords, right? We've got Sprite, Noble, free cost 2/2 with flying. Other creatures you control with flying get +0/+1, and I can tap it to give other creatures with flying +1/+0 until end of turn. So that's kind of a nice, on offense I can, kind of treat it as extra lords. So there's a thing, right? Vendilion Click is actually a really good card. It's a free cost 3/1 flash flying. And when it enters the battlefield, look at target player's hand. You may choose a non-land card from it. If you do that, player reveals the chosen card, puts it on the bottom of his or her library, then draws a card. So it's not card advantage. I mean, they get to replace that card. But you can basically just, if they have like a mass removal in their hand that you don't want them to play, you can be like, nope, you don't get to ever play that. So it's gonna be, put on the bottom of your library, and now you're gonna get to draw another card, but it's probably not gonna be as useful as whatever I took out, because I get to choose what I take from their hand. And yeah, I mean, you get to just pick their best card out of their hand, and they have to replace it with a random card, which is likely gonna be worse. So it's pretty good. Sower of Temptation, 4 cost 2/2 flyer, and when it enters the battlefield, gain control of target creature for as long as Sower of Temptation remains on the battlefield. Given that there's quite a bit of disruption / counterspelling in this deck, you can make this guy stay alive pretty easily, so he's really good. He was in 2012 as well. We've got Glenorlandra Archmage. It's a 4 cost 2/2 flyer, and for a blue I can sacrifice it and counter target non-creature spell. So it's a counter spell on sticks. Yeah, it's a counter spell basically, and it's a dude. I can if I can wait until I have 5 mana out and drop this, and I'll be able to sacrifice it in response to whatever my opponent's doing. I can drop it early, have my opponent have to deal with it, if they want to cast a non-creature spell the following turn. But it has Persist, which is quite nice. That means if it dies, it gets a -1/-1 counter and comes back. And then, obviously, that can only happen once, because it's a 2/2, so either way. But normally, Persist only works if there's not already a -1/-1 counter on the dude. So, even if this was 3/3, I could only use it once, but hey. So that means I get to counter spell something twice, which is really nice. We've got Sleep, and it is a sorcery. Tap all creatures target player controls. Those creatures don't untap during a player's next untap step. Given that this is somewhat of a tempo deck, and I've got counter spells and flyers, it seems really good to have Sleep in there. So, you could Concentrate, forecast, draw 3 cards, some card advantage, nice. It is quite expensive, and I have to tap out for it, so maybe not that great, given that I do want to keep, mana open for counter spells and all that. But then again, if you run out of cards, you run out of cards, and you need more cards, so. We got Fairy Invaders here, 5 cost 3/3 flash flyer, pretty good, we know it from Sealed. And we got Switcheroo, so I think there's like 3 Fairy Invaders in total in the deck available, and 4 Switcheroos, if you really want to go nuts with Switcheroo. I mean, you could like add another Fairy Invaders and 1 less Switcheroo. Maybe that's better, maybe not, who knows. But exchange control to target creatures, so quite nice. You can turn this into like, an aggressive kind of deck. You can turn it into a control kind of deck. I'm a little bit in between there. We've got Una, Queen of the Fae, 6 cost, 5/5 flyer, and for a hybrid mana cost and X, choose a color. Target opponent exiles the top X cards of his or her library. For each card of the chosen color exiled this way, put a 1/1 blue and black fairy rogue creature token with flying onto the battlefield. So, in other words, if I spend an X amount, then the opponent has to mill X -1 of their library, because I have to spend +1 for the hybrid blue-black. So it's whatever I spend on this, that's how many cards -1 they have to mill from a library, from the top of their library. And then for each card that is the color I happen to pick, then I get a 1/1 blue-black Fairy Rogue creature token with flying, which is quite nice. This is a really good card. So and it's hybrid mana, so it can die to Doomblade, and the creatures it makes also are black and blue, so they also can die to Doomblade. So yay! We got Stolen Identity, 6 cost, sorcery, put a token onto the battlefield that's a copy of target artifact or creature, and there's Cipher. So we're not running some Hydro Surges. This card, I'm not really sure what it's doing in this deck. 2 cost instant. We know this from a challenge, right? If you've played the challenges, you should remember this card. But return target artifact, enchantment, or land to its owner's hand. Not really sure what it's doing in here. Hands of Binding, 2 cost, sorcery, tap a target creature an opponent controls. That creature doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step, and Cipher. I prefer Sleep, so we've got Illusory Angel. I don't know why, but every time I try to say this name, I just end up saying loser in there. Illusory Angel. It's a free cost for flying, and cast it only if you've cast another spell this turn. Another card that I think would be, probably better if you are running these wonder-ups here, but hey. So yeah, given that there's a lot of stuff that kind of wants me to play the wonder-ups, maybe they're pretty good, but they are just 1/1 flyers for one, which, flying men. But, oh well. We've got Pestamite here, free cost 2/1, flash, flying, and when it's battlefield you may tap or untap target permanent. There's a lot of really good free cost guys, so they didn't really make the first cut for my deck, but they can be really good. And they can untap this guy with flash and then make him be able to tap again, give my guys +1/+1 again, combat tricks and all kinds of nastiness that can happen there. But they didn't really make the cut here. And they're used in combo decks actually. These they're used with Kiki-Jiki, so that's interesting, right? Kiki-Jiki is tap and create a copy of target creature. It's a dude that can tap and make a copy of something. So if you have a Pestamite and Kiki-Jiki, you got Kiki-Jiki out. It taps and makes a copy of Pestamite, and then the Pestamite untaps the Kiki-Jiki. Kiki-Jiki taps, makes another copy of Pestamite, etc. You can go infinite with that. So kind of interesting, but hey, there's no such thing in this deck. So we've got Sentinels of Glen Elendra. I really like this card in 2012 actually. 4 cost, 2 free, flash, flying. Pretty good. You could run those instead of Fairy Invaders. They're a little bit cheaper, a little bit less strong, but they may be better. Who knows? But as for now, I'm running these 4 drops. So again, if Concentrate doesn't end up being really good, maybe you want Sentinels instead. Got Dissipation Field here, enchantment. Whenever a permanent deals combat damage to you, return it to its owner's hand. There's a lot of stuff with enter the battlefield effects in this game, so you may not really like this card too much. I guess, maybe it depends on the matchup, maybe it depends on whatever cards they've got. I don't know, it's not really super foolproof or anything, but it's a nice card. Yeah, I don't know, it's the same mana cost as No Mercy, and I think No Mercy is generally gonna be better, but oh well. We've got Psychic Possession here, 4 cost enchantment aura, enchant opponent. So it's an aura that enchants your opponent. Interesting, right? Skip your draw step. Whenever enchanted opponent draws a card, you may draw a card. So yeah. So you don't get to draw on your turn, you get to draw when the opponent draws. That's kind of interesting. What's the point of this, is your question, most likely. Well, it kind of combos with Force Fruition, where you make them draw 7 cards. And you get to draw 7 cards as well. Given that this is kind of a tempo deck, you probably draw some counterspells there, and no matter what the opponent draws, you don't let him play them, and that should be pretty good, So I guess I can sort of see that, but hey. We've got a Reigns of Power here, 4 cost. We know what this does. I didn't like it in the creatureless Dodge and Burn, so I'm guessing I won't like it here either. If it doesn't work as well as I thought in the creatureless Dodge and Burn, then it's just not a good card. Regardless of how powerful it may seem like it is. It just doesn't really... It never really works out for me, so... We've got Last Thoughts here, 4 cost sorcery, draw card, Cipher. I'd rather play Concentrate, then I guarantee get to draw 3 cards. We've got another extra Switcheroo, extra Fairy Invaders, like I said. Look, You know what? I'm gonna do this because I don't want to draw too many switcheroos. So just a small change here. Mind Unbound, 6 cost enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, put a lore counter on Mind Unbound and draw a card for each lore counter on Mind Unbound. Really slow card advantage machine. Could be interesting, but no. And we have Overwhelming Intellect, 6 cost. Instant. Counter target creature spell. Draw cards equal to that spell's converted mana cost. Also interesting, but you know, what if they play like mass removal and you can't counter it with Overwhelming Intellect? That's kind of my problem with cards like that, right? So that's it. That's what the deck looks like. And I'm running 25 lands right now because I am running quite a few 5-drops and 6-drops. So I want an extra land there from the norm. So let's go into a match and see how this plays. And here we are in a match against Uunbasa. I've got a 3-drop, a 4-drop, and a 5-drop, and 4 lands. I gotta say I'm not a huge fan of this hand, but I guess it'll do. I don't know. I mean, it is somewhat consistent. Oh, we're playing the mirror match apparently, so he's got a 1/1 flyer out already. And I'm not going to be able to do anything until turn 3 unless I draw something earlier than that. But I didn't. I draw Concentrate. Might draw a 2-drop. I don't know. So this is going to be interesting. I guess in the mirror match, it's probably whoever has the sleekest deck build. You know, the lower cost guys. That guy is probably going to do better. He should have attacked with that before picking it up. But, you know, I'm not going to be sad about it. Familiar's Ruse, the counter spell that has me pick up a dude, so I can't play that yet. And he's gonna smash in for free, I would imagine, unless he wants to play another one of these pre-combat. Good luck, have fun, by the way. Okay, so now he's probably keeping up Familiar's Ruse. This is Flash, and it's just a 1/1 by itself. If he's gonna counterspell something, I'd rather him counterspells Bright Noble. So I'll just play this right now. I mean, the interesting part about playing Flash into counterspells is that, you know, they have to tap out on their turn to counterspell, and then you get to untap on your turn. But on the other hand, this is a Lord, and I don't really want to have him counterspell a Lord. So if he has a counterspell, I'd rather, you know. Given that he is being more aggressive, I think it's right to trade here. This guy is more valuable, obviously, but this does, you know, put him back a bit. I don't want to like try and set up too much and then have him, you know, disrupt my plans. By trading here, I get some extra time to set up. So he's got 3 of those 1/1 flyers, the Zephyr Sprites. I mean, if he has a Lord now, that's pretty good. So the bad thing about trading there is that now I have to play something again before I get to Familiar Ruse, but that's alright. So we're gonna just play... Yeah, we'll play the Archmage here. I don't have mana up to use it to counterspell something, but that's okay. It's 2/2 flyer against his 1/1 flyer, so he has to deal with it if he wants to get by with his 1/1s, unless he plays a Scion, which would be pretty good. Hands of Binding, not bad indeed. So let's see. I'm gonna want to play Fairy Invaders on my turn, I would imagine. Because he could have a Familiar Ruse if I play it on his turn. On the other hand, I get to keep counter magic up otherwise. If I play this, he can't make me tap that guy again. I can just take 3 damage and I'd be fine, right? And I get to keep up Familiar Ruse. That's actually better, I think. So we'll play him. And I know he has Flash, but I'm playing him on my turn, so I don't walk him into a counterspell. So. I'll take the damage here. And now Now he gets to tap this guy, that's fine by me. Okay, so we draw Briarberry Cohort, which is pretty nice. So what I'll do is attack here, I think. That'll be fine, and then on his turn I can play the Fairy Invaders when he attacks. And I'll have, counter magic up with this dude. Sacrificing it, so. Pestermite. And it's battlefield untap or untap target permanent. I'm fine with that, but the fact that he tapped out makes me kind of want to play Fairy Invaders now. Nah, I'll wait. Maybe he plays something worse for me. Oh, he makes me tap a land. Okay, that's pretty good actually. Didn't expect that one. Okay, I'm just gonna play this now. So it makes me pick up 2 lands. So I didn't actually think of the fact that it's lets you tap lands. That's actually not that bad then. I don't know, that seems pretty good. Alright, so at this point we're just going to attack with my 4/4. He could triple block it, I'd be fine with that. Nope, he takes the 4 damage. I don't know, I seem to have board control at this point. And I'll play this guy. Seems good. And pass the turn. I've got 2 different kinds of counter spells up. I've got this guy up, I can sacrifice to counter something. And this guy counts himself because he comes onto the battlefield before countering something. So I'll be able to counterspell anything 5 mana and less. And he only has 4 lands out, so it basically counters whatever he plays. And basically counter anything, and otherwise I can always play Familiar Ruse. But he doesn't play anything, I'm totally fine with that. So we'll attack with these at this point. And now the question is if I want to play Concentrate. I don't know. I'm gonna win just by counterspelling whatever he plays, so there's not really a point in tapping out a bit. I mean, I'd still have 3 mana up and still play either one of these and sacrifice this guy, but I'm totally safe from basically anything here, so. And unsummon? No? Okay. Yes? No? What is going on with the unsummon there? You gonna unsummon that? You gonna try to unsummon that? Yeah, I'll play Spell Stutter Sprite here. This only works on non-creature spells, so I have to play Familiar's Ruse if I want to counterspell that. I mean, that's pretty good. I still have to pick something up, but what would I pick up? The 3/3, I imagine. Okay. So now, yeah, we'll pick him up. And play this and still have 1 mana up for him. This just adds to my board and doesn't let him add to his board, so. Let's attack with him. Let's put up the pressure here. And he just takes the damage because, you know, he has to make some pretty unfavorable trades. So that's the game. So yeah, the 1/1 Flyers didn't do a whole lot for him, and that's why he lost. So yeah, maybe I'm right with this build. Maybe there's something to it. We'll do a rematch here. Okay, sure, I'll play this. Now he's playing red. Huh. I wonder what deck that is. I'm guessing. I think that's Dodge and Burn, given the land type, and that would make sense. You know, him switching to Dodge and Burn to counter this deck. That would make a lot of sense. Yep, that's Dodge and Burn for sure. All right, so this guy can't attack. He's a defender, so I'm just gonna play my 2/2 here. At least I'm safe from Electrolyze. No, I'm not, actually. Actually, Electrolyze would kill both of them, because this guy would die, and then this is the only blue creature on the board, and he would die too. But he's just gonna kill that thing. Alright, so trading 1 for 1 there. Alright, Spell Stutter Sprite can maybe do something. So here's the problem. I don't want to play Concentrate into his counterspell. That seems like a bad idea. So let's pass the turn here. I kind of just want to ensure that Concentrate happens. So next turn I can play Fairy Invaders. He has to counterspell that, unless he wants me to have a 3/3 on the board. He could just like Searing Spear and still keep counter magic open. But otherwise, if he taps out to deal with this or something, then I can then Concentrate the turn after. That's pretty good. I'm just gonna take 5 damage. Can counterspell it with Spell Stutter Sprite. And Sober of Temptation seems pretty irrelevant against Dodge and Burn. So here we get the choice of concentrating or playing a threat that dies to basically any kind of burn. So I want to concentrate. Just to ensure that I get to draw 3 cards while it's tapped out. Okay, another flash creature, another sprite here. Kind of interesting. And I'm at 6 mana. I'm just gonna say go, because basically pretty much everything has flash. Although next turn he'll have 6 mana. That's gonna be kind of bad for me. Okay. Electrolyze, that's okay. He didn't get land. That's good. Let's just try and force a Fairy Invader in there. Searing Sphere, there it is. See, that's why I wanted to concentrate instead of playing that, because it just dies to any burn. It doesn't leave me 5 mana to play another Fairy Invader, but I will play this guy right now. And say go. Then I have the chance of either playing the Scion if he tries to kill anything, or playing a Spell Stutter Sprite if that works. I'm just gonna attack here for 2. Can't be countered. Right, well I still get to get my Spell Stutter Sprite out. I, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, 115, 116, 117, 118, 119, 120, That doesn't help. This isn't big enough, you know. Then I'd only have two dudes down, so I can't even counterspell the Char right now. That's really unfortunate. I'll have to take it, and actually, while he stepped out, I think the best thing to do here is just play the Fairy Invaders right now. See if he can kill me. I mean, I'm at 7. There's a big possibility that it just has the kill. He lets me untap. So now I could start making copies, but doesn't seem too great. Alright, let's just attack. Just a 1/1. He just makes a 1/1. I mean, that could be good enough if he has like 6 damage to follow up with. If he has Banefire. I have to keep it. No, I mean, if he has Banefire, I'll probably die to that anyways, so. And he needs to have a land now if he wants to kill me with that and Banefire. So, but if he has like 2 Searing Spears, I just can't take that damage. So yeah. So I know he has Char. So the only thing that matters is if he has another Volcanic Fallout with the Char. For whether I take this damage or not. So I'm gonna take the damage. Even if I can get this guy down, I still only have 9 damage. That's unfortunate. Right? And he counters that. Okay, well, he used his burn to kill this guy rather than shoot it at my face, so kind of not too sad about that. Now we have a choice of trying to copy my guy twice, take his guy. I mean, it has to be the copying, right? I was thinking of putting it on this guy, but so now it's just, you know, does he have to kill? Does he have to kill? If not, I probably win. If he does, then he wins, obviously. So that's what it comes down to. That is what it comes down to. Not much else I can do about it. I have to, you know, I have to hope. He's been replaced by AI. Well, that seems like a good thing. He doesn't have the extra land. See? He did have the Banefire, but he didn't have the extra land. Wow. Yeah, that's unfortunate for him. And let's just see what I draw. I'm kind of curious here. They're all lands. Okay, great. Solar Temptation. Take that. I will take that. And then we will get in for 4 damage. Boom boom. And finish him off. Take him down to 0. There you go. Well, that was kind of interesting. Fairies against Dodge and Burn. Dodge and Burn got screwed on land a little bit to make it possible for me to win. So it seems to me, I mean, Dodge and Burn is a pretty good deck. This has a lot of counterspells, but I need creatures down to be able to counterspell. I think Dodge and Burn is probably still, you know, the favorite in this matchup. But up to Mischief sure has some tricks, can do some stuff. So it's I like this deck. It seems pretty good. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Sorry, dude. I'm just ending my video here. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video with the other deck, which is Enchanter's Arsenal. So, thanks for watching. See ya.